Right, in this section, I'm going to just run through all the columns that's available on the system. So if we look at the first column here, that's for the asset barcode. Next to it, that will be the name. Remember, we said that will be a simple name like table, chair, laptop, that sort of thing. And the next one is the description that goes into more detail on that specific asset. Then we've got the category or asset class or cost center. Next to that, we've got the physical location. That location falls in a specific division. The status, the current status is book in, because that is what we chose to scan earlier. Is we chose the action to be book in, so that's the status. The status date is the actual date and time of the scan. You'll see that it differs with a couple of minutes. Then we've got a field called due date. So the due date is when the system sends out an automatic email every Monday to tell you which assets are due for the week. So you can use that for like a warning system for calibrations, maybe stuff that needs to be serviced, or loan items that must come back, that sort of thing. So how that works, you can either manually type in a date, or I can say I need it back 3 months. So you just put 3M from the status date, and it will calculate a due date for me. Right, then we've got the next 4 fields: the purchase date, purchase price, expiry date, expiry value. These 4 fields, they're used for value depreciation. And I'll get back to them just now. Right, so the next field is notes, and the field after that is comments. Now, notes and comments, that it might sound a bit confusing because it's 2 of the same sort of concepts, but a note would be something simple as something like the asset tag is stuck underneath, something like that. So that's a note for the asset manager or the asset controller to know when they do look for the asset barcode, they must look underneath the table. Where the comments is something like scratched, or maybe it could be a face value new, or broken, or old, and the comments can be updated. Like I'll later on in these chapters we'll see what happens when we update the comments. But the comments also then becomes part of the history of that asset. So it's been captured. If we look up here, there's a history button, so we can always go back and see the history of a certain asset, and then the comments would be part of that history, where the notes is more static field. Right, so these are all the standard fields. Then we've got 20 custom fields, so we can right click anywhere on one of the column headers. We select edit columns, and here we'll see a list of all the standard columns. If you don't use it, you can switch it on and off. And then we've also got the custom fields. And I'm just going to mention this now, but you'll see later on when I go through the training on the smartphone app. There's a smartphone app available that you can use instead of a scanner. The first custom field will also show up on the smartphone app. So personally, I like to call this like serial number, you know, because it's also then scannable, so I can use my smartphone to scan the serial number and capture that directly, but more of that later. So you can switch them on and off. You can call them anything you want, you know, like that. Then on top I OK it. When I move to the right now, you'll see that now we've got these 2 custom fields that we've activated, and they're now available to put in that custom information that we need on those specific fields. Right, just to get back, if we go back here, to the value depreciation, purchase date, purchase price. I'll just do the 2 chairs just to give an idea. So if we say those 2 chairs were purchased in, it's purchased in 2016 06 01, that was the purchase date. Said the purchase price was 450, that's about 4,500. Price of those chairs, they were quite expensive. Expiry date, depending on what the government says, but normally furniture will expire over 5 years. So then you put 5Y, and the system will calculate the expiry date like that. And with the expiry value, normally we take to 0. And again, I can just copy and paste this. Right. So when we go to the reports now, see on the top right, we've got the reports. If I go there, the very last report is value depreciation. By default, it will go today's date a year back as your selected period for depreciation. But you can set this to your own financial period that you want to see for this depreciation cycle. Right, so what we see here is all the info that we've entered already. So we've got the barcode, the name, description. By the way, it will only show the 2 chairs now, because that's the only 2 items in a list that it's got information or data for. So it's all the info that we've entered, and then values and that. Here's the first math now. So prior depreciation, it's that. In other words, that's the value that that certain item lost before the start of this selected period. For the selected period, it lost this much, and then it shows you how the math worked. So it was calculated from this date, from this value to that date and to that value. And then here we've got the end result, the total depreciation in its whole lifetime since it was purchased till this book year end date, and also the current book value, so the current worth of that specific item. And then while I'm here at the reports, there is a report saying assets per division. So remember, we said the division could be something like finance or HR, or it could be a branch name or something of the company. So, but it will tell you all the items that falls under finance. Okay, so that's assets per division. Similarly, we've got assets per location. We've only got the one location now, but that report will tell you in the finance division and in the boardroom that's in that finance division, we've got 3 items. If we had a reception there, it will have reception with the items in the reception there.